Hello, and how are you? Happy Sunday, and welcome to day 2 of my series, The Moment That Led Me to the ER. So, this is a 30-day series about my pulmonary embolism, and I'm going to give you bits and pieces of the journey so that you can kind of see what it is. This is not intended to give you any kind of medical advice or anything like that. If you feel that you're living through this or you're living through it now and you have specific concerns, please feel free to speak to your medical provider. I am just giving you this series through the lens of my experience. And even though this is a 30-day series, I will not be doing this 30 days in a row. I'll most likely be doing one video per week. And it's amazing because it will give you a perspective from kind of an extended period of time. So at the time of this video, I am 4 weeks post-diagnosis, okay? So I'm gonna talk about the moment that led me to the ER. So day 1 of this series, I basically told you in this video why I am doing this series. So you can feel free to go back and watch that. It is in my playlist on YouTube, my health journey /PE. And today's topic basically is the moment when I knew something was wrong and sought help. So October 11th was, I had just found out that it's Black Girls Day off, right? So leading up to that week, I had intentions on calling out that day of work or using my mental health day, which I did. And usually when I take a day off, my thing is go to the gym, right? Because usually I'm either stuck going to early morning classes at the gym or at the spin studio, or going to weekend classes or doing races and things like that. So there's really never a time that I'm there in the daytime. So anytime I'm off of work, I go to the gym in the daytime. And so I did that. Now, I guess I can actually talk about the week leading up to, because this is all part of it. But in future videos, I'm going to take you back, look in hindsight, and how there were signs and symptoms that I did have, right? And I wouldn't necessarily say ignore them, because nobody walks around saying, hey, I may have blood clots on my chest, you know? So anyway, that week, I remember on that Monday when I went to work, when I came home from work, I literally went to sleep. And I don't know why I was so tired. I don't recall staying up that Saturday or Sunday in which my body was crashing. So it was just really weird. But anytime, because I'm so busy, anytime my body says rest, I drop everything and I rest, because rest is pivotal. Rest is important, and it's all part of listening to your body. And so on that, I believe Wednesday, I had pain in the middle of my chest. And I was like, you know what, this may be heartburn, because I do have a history of acid reflux. I was like, you know what, this may just be a little bit of heartburn. And then I took some Pepto-Bismol, went to bed per usual. Thursday, that same pain, but at a certain time in the workday, it seemed like it was worse. So I got home. I couldn't wait to get home. Matter of fact, I took my Pepto-Bismol and then I went to bed, right? And that was just that. So then I wake up the next day, which is that Friday, and I'm just excited because, I call out, and then I'm going to go to the gym, which is something that I do when I am at home in the day. So I go to the gym, and looking back at it, I wasn't feeling 100% myself, but I went to the gym anyway, and I powered through my workout. So I usually speed walk. So what I do is I'll usually walk the treadmill wise. The speed is about between 3.5 and 4.0. I really wasn't feeling it that day. So even though I did have peaks, I did not really peak there. I kind of probably stayed at 3.0 and more, right? Because I just didn't feel 100%. And then when it came to the jump rope, I did the heavy rope like I usually do. I did my freestyle jumps. And, when you're jumping rope, already it's taking a lot of your breath, right? It takes a lot of energy. So I'm always expected to be winded. But like I said, looking back, I was just winded a bit more than usual, but I didn't think of anything of it. It was just, okay, today is an off day, but we're still going to power through this workout, in which I did. So I was scrolling on TikTok sometime maybe after the workout, and I decided, I saw some chicken noodle soup and it looked like such an easy recipe. So I was like, you know what? Let me go to Food Town, pick up the ingredients and come cook this thing. So I do that. I come home, I cook, and then I cook the food, but I really wasn't feeling well. So in between of cooking, I would sit down. But then as the evening progressed, and it wasn't even really late at the time, so I was still waiting for my son's speech therapist, I was just feeling bad, like body-wise. So the pain was there, and it moved from like the center of my chest to the left of my chest. And it's just like, I couldn't sit, I couldn't lay, I couldn't like stand. Every single thing was just totally uncomfortable, right? And so at that time, I'm just like, sis, you may have to like take a trip, to that emergency room. Truth be told, and you notice I'm still like, as I'm talking, I'm kind of gasping for breath because, that's just a part of what it is now that I'm, dealing with and experiencing. So, okay, like I said, my son had a football game that next day, right? And he's been playing football for 3 years now in high school, and I don't miss games. Like, I've been late to a few games, but I don't miss games. So a part of me thinking in my head is just like, I don't want to go because I do want to go to the football game tomorrow. But at the same token, I was just so uncomfortable that I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't sit, stand, lay. After the soup was finished, after my son's speech therapist left, I said, I got to go. I got to take a trip, right? At the time of my symptoms, the only thing I was really feeling at the time was really the pain in my chest. So I go to the emergency room, and because I already have high blood pressure, their first things to do is to do blood work, to do EKG, and to do x-ray to eliminate any symptoms of having a heart attack, right? And so they was just like, everything is normal, like you are good to go. And I'm like, no, I'm not good to go because I feel pain. I'm having pain, right? They gave me pain medication. I am having pain. Now, I don't remember telling them about my father's history of PE. I really don't. But on the discharge paperwork, it says that I told them about my father's history of pulmonary embolism, which is the reason why they did the CAT scan. And when they did the CAT scan, they're like, oh, you have bilateral pulmonary embolism, meaning I have blood clots in both of my lungs. Now, I guess some of the typical symptoms which people present with is they have a hard time breathing. They're very short of breath. Well, I guess that's like really one of the main ones. That, sitting for a long period of time, traveling, going out of the country to stay, all of these things. And these are kind of the questions that they were asking me. But at that time, I was not even breathing heavy. Like really the only thing I recall at that time was that pain on the left side. Like it had moved from the center, which was like the last couple of days, to the left, and like my neck was hurting, my back was hurting, like I was just in a lot of pain. I don't think the shortness of breath and things like that started manifesting itself till like afterwards, or like I said, leading up to, in hindsight, which I will talk about on the next video. Why these symptoms felt different or alarming compared to anything I experienced before. Like I said, I thought I was having heartburn, but I also thought I have a condition called acid reflux, which was really worse back in my 20s when I used to eat like a lot of buffalo wings, a lot of acidic food. But now it's kind of managed because I don't eat a lot of those things anymore. So I don't really take medication regularly for it. So sometimes if I overdo the spice or if I overdo the acidic food, ever so often I will have an acid reflux flare up. And when I do that, I'll just take Nexia, which was once a prescribed medication, now it's over the counter. I would just take that for 7 days and then I'll be good again. So that's kind of what the symptoms felt like, but it really wasn't that, because when I do have like a flare up, I usually have this disgusting burp, and the gas that I pass, it's horrible. Like, so it was different in that regard. So I didn't really think I was really having like an acid reflux flare up. The process that led me to recognize it wasn't something to ignore was just a simple fact that I just wasn't comfortable. And like I said, in other times I would have put that football game before my health, but I just knew something wasn't right. My emotional state, I guess, during the decision to go seek medical care was just, I kind of had some apprehensions, like, okay, because I've gone to the hospital for chest pain before and it's nothing, right? And it's just like, okay, I wasted my time for nothing, right? But you always want to err on the side of caution. So I kind of had that, like, what if I go to the emergency room and nothing really is wrong with me? Then what happens then? What made me go to the ER instead of waiting it out was really the fact that I could not do anything comfortably anymore. Like, I couldn't sit, lay, stand, nothing. Now, I could have, because, sometimes I rely on pain medication. I could have, really thinking about this football game, I could have really taken some pain medication and said, you know what, we're going to wait this out and go to the ER later. I didn't do that. And I'm glad I didn't do that, because I probably wouldn't be here talking to you if I did that. The importance of trusting your instincts and seeking care promptly. You have to know your body. You know your body. You know your body. You know your body better than anything else. And when things don't feel right, you have to act on it. You really have to act on it. Reflecting on the experience and how this decision saved my life and why it's critical to listen to your body. Like I said, I could have just taken ibuprofen or Advil or whatever other painkillers I have in my house, went to bed, and hoped for a miracle. Glad I didn't. Raising awareness and encouraging others to act when something's wrong. Like I said, you know your body, something wrong, act. Now, I want you, as a listener, as a viewer of watching this series, I want you to always pay attention to your body. You know your body better than anything or everybody or anybody else, including a doctor. Because like I said, they were ready to send me home after they realized I was not having a heart attack. And this is also too why I underscore the importance of knowing your family history. Know your family medical history, because no matter how much they say things don't run or pass down, or if you live this kind of life, you won't get X, Y, Z, A, B, C. It happens. Know your family history on both sides, your mother's side and your father's side, because knowing this, it will help you tailor your life to a way in which you will be aware of things. Or in my case, telling the emergency room staff that, oh, my father has a history of PE, made them do that CAT scan. Had I not told them that, because I wasn't presenting symptoms typical to someone having blood clots in their lungs, they would have totally sent me home, right? Even probably in pain. But because I knew enough of my family history to tell them, they were like, chill, let's do this other test, right? Because also too, part of my family is very religious, where they don't believe in illness. And if they do have an illness and then all of a sudden it's gone, oh, I'm cured, I'm healed, which kind of diminishes the fact of something happening. And they won't tell their family members that they have this illness because it was healed. Don't do that, please. Always know your family history of medical, mental, substance, all of that. Like, as a mental health counseling student, like, I've done this project called the Genogram, which you're looking at the social history of the family. Everything matters. Everything counts, right? I just want to encourage you, see something, say something, even when it comes to yourself, and really advocate for yourself strongly. And yeah, like I said, this is day 2 of my journey, what led me to the emergency room. Day 3, I'm basically going to take you like hindsight symptoms that I did experience that I didn't realize. So definitely like, comment, share, subscribe. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you don't feel comfortable putting them in the chat, just reach out to me on any other of the social medias that I have: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, email, my blog. It's all there. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll speak to you soon. Be sure to look out for day 3, which will probably happen in a week from now. If you've missed any of the other days of the series, just check the playlist or go to my blog, where you'll see it all in chronological order. Talk to you soon.